Welcome back. This time we're doing another video in the Teaching My Girlfriend series. I'm going to be teaching Anika how to make brake lines. It's a little video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and now I've got a diff sitting here ready to go, so it'll be nice and easy to do. We've got all the tools ready. We'll run through all the tools and then we'll get started. So what I've done so far is mapped it all out. I've got the soft lines made, and what I do is I have a washer which fits perfectly for the brake hose to go into, and then that clips in, and then the clip holds it in. And then it comes into a T-piece. All I do is just weld a bolt on. I've just tacked it in there for now, because it might move a couple of mil here and there. So this is where the brake hose will come out and go to the hard line to the car, because the diff is moving up and down. It needs a soft line, and then another hard line around to the other side. You can just run a hard line straight into the caliper, but I always run a soft line to the caliper, because if you want to change the brake pads, you can undo it, slide it out of the way, change the pads, even change the disc without having to undo the hard line, and then you're going to have to bleed the brakes. The first tool that we really need to flare brake lines is a brake flare tool. This is just a simple aeroflow one. Obviously you need some brake line, or Bundy tube as they call it, a brake line cutter, a bending tool, and this is not needed, but I find it really helpful, which a brake line straightener. Alright, first thing we want to do is just take a quick measurement of how much brake line we're going to be needing. So a little bit of overlap. It's about 800 with flaring, so let's just say just short of a meter.
Just short of a meter.
See, when we unroll this, before having this tool, I used to sit here and try and straighten it out.
Ugh, time consuming.
Time consuming. So now we can just unroll about a meter.
Yep, and thread it through.
You want to give it a go?
Yeah,
First
what do you
go.
think I'm here for?
Teaching you.
All the way up?
All the way up. Look at that. Nice and straight.
Wow.
So we're going to do this line first. So these are the fittings already in there. That one and that one. So grab the tape measure. So where are you? You're in there. So the brake line has to go in until almost the back of this.
Back of there.
Yep.
And then what about on the other side?
And then same thing. Like you can see.
To here.
You can see like the flare in there.
So to here.
Yep.
So more than 10.
It'll be about 100 mil. So mark 100.
Yeah.
Now.
Ooh, the cutter.
So unwind it, the bottom. Do it this way so you can see it. So that cutter has to be on the mark, and then that sits into the groove. Perfect. Okay, now tighten up so it's tight, and then do one spin of this around the pipe. Keep going. Wow.
What did I do wrong?
Pause. Yeah. Okay. Your very first cut, what you did, you wound the cutter in really tight, and then went one revolution around it and actually cut through. Left a really jagged edge on it.
Because I'm too strong.
Yeah. So
I got too big of muscles. I wound it on too tight.
So what we'll do, I'll quickly show you the proper way. I'll just do a little bit here, because I've got to cut off this burr. So it's just wind it in just so it's a little bit tight, finger tight, and then go around once, a little bit more, around, tighten it, around, tighten it, and then a couple of goes. Then you'll feel it. It should be easy to go around, and then it gets loose, like really loose, because it's cut in, tighten it, and then it comes off.
Take two.
Nice pants, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm half hippie, half
They're really workshop proof. They're gonna.
half workshop.
Lucky we're not doing any
Workshop
welding.
chick, half hippie.
Lucky we're not welding today because you catch on fire.
Lucky.
Okay, so going in, take today. Part sits in between these two rollers, and then the cutter goes onto the 100 mil mark. Does that feel a lot easier? Yep, one turn, a little bit tight. And I feel it to start to get easier as it comes cut through.
That's it.
Oh, looks better.
Okay. And just sand it flat.
Done.
And that takes that little
Gristly bit off.
burr off.
Time to flare.
Time to flare. So we have to undo the flaring tool. We've got to choose the right dies and see they hold this in place. And then you can see the desired flare that we want. There's a little flare in there. That's fine. Don't choke on the wood. And so the other ends have like different size flares, and there's a whole bunch of flares for different size pipes. So this is the one we want. Put that in there, and we want the end of the pipe to sit just on the end of the die. And then we put the other side in. Make sure this is back in place. Flip this over, lock it in place. Okay, there's two types of flares. There is a ball flare, or a single flare, and a Y flare, which is double flare. So inside these, and also in the brake hoses, there is a little seat, and it sits like this. So we need to make the opposite of that. So we start on option 1, 316. This is 316 brake pipe. So we spin this around. Once that's locked in there, please leave it until it hits home. And that's the single flare,
Yep.
which looks like that. And then we need the double flare because we need to make it opposite. So we spin that around to option 2. Make sure that it goes into the hole. And then, boom. That's all it is. Okay. So I'll show you on this, and you can have a look at the difference between a single flare. So tighten that up. So you go option 1. Yep. Make sure it goes in the hole. Yep. Oh. Okay. So that's a ball flare or a single flare. So that would actually go into there. The seat. So the Bundy nuts or the tube nuts. So they have to go on before we flare. Like we can always do one side and slide it on, make sure it's the right way. And then we're going to put the other one on, make sure it's the right way.
And then what type is on that end?
That'll be a double flare too.
Okay.
So first, what we'll want to do is just try this in, make sure the length is right. So we'll take that off and just screw that into here. Okay. Now that will sit there. You lose a little bit when you flare it. So you can see from underneath, it's pretty much going to be perfect. Right, that's going to seep into there.
Perfect. Well, what did you find, Bunny? Oh, rubbish. Cool.
Go put it back in the bin.
Go put it in the bin, your bin, right? Okay. So then I got a double flare this side. Where's my little nut? Yeah.
Yep. Going the right way. Yep.
Oh, check out that magic.
Perfect.
And nuts like this. Let's go put it on.
Okay. Now put that one on. This might be a bit tricky. this actually might be easier. Oh, it's working. Perfect. Sometimes you can just take this off, take the pressure off it. So now we're going to do one all the way along here.
We've got to bend it
Over
like
there.
Beckham.
Bend it like that. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to bend it. So this is also another thing that you've got to do after you flare it, because if you want to put a bend in really close to where the flare in the tube nut is, you can't get that back into the dies. So flare it first, put the tube nut in, then bend it, because the tube nut will then be locked in place because it won't be able to go past the bend. We use the bending tool where we slide it in.
You didn't even measure that.
It's
Oh yeah, I see. It's kind of...
and we've got another one here. Okay.
Wow, let me just get a little pan of that. Not bad.
So I'll do a little bit of just a hand bend over this. And then it goes in.
Perfect. So we've just got one more double flare to go.
Okay.
Put it on. This is fun.
I know, I like making
This
brake
stuff's fun. Anytime you need a brake line done, you just give me a call, baby.
lines. I might just weld a little tag on here and hold that down just so it doesn't rattle. Okay, so that's it for this video. How did you enjoy that? Was that
I
fun?
loved that.
Yeah.
I liked that even more than folding the floor, I think. That was super fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the park now. Yes.
I hope this was just kind of educational for anyone that wants to do brake lines, because I find them pretty easy when you've got the right tools. And if Anika can do it,
Anyone can do it.
nah, she's pretty good. She's pretty smart. So, okay, we'll wrap that up. Just a quick video, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.